It started. Before I noticed, someone was already inside my garage waiting for me, and I didn't realize it until my side mirror was pushed in and something small was tucked under my windshield wiper, like it had been placed there on purpose to see how I'd react. It wasn't random. It was folded too clean, positioned too exact, like whoever did it wasn't trying to damage anything. They were checking if I'd notice, and the second I touched it, I already felt like I was late to something that had already started. The garage was supposed to be controlled access, gate, remote, cameras at entry and exit. That's what they tell you. But inside, it was just levels of concrete, blind corners, pillars, and rows of cars that barely moved during the week. And I had a routine. Same time every night, same path, same spot near the stairwell door. Close, convenient, predictable. I never questioned it. That's the part that made it easy. 2 nights later, the gate was already cracked open when I pulled up. Not wide, just enough to slip through, like it had been triggered recently, but no one was leaving. I slowed down, drove in, too quiet, no footsteps, no engines, just that low hum from the lights and the echo of my tires. When I parked 2 spaces over, a car door was slightly open, not wide, just enough, placed, like it wasn't forgotten, like it was being used. I didn't check it, went straight to the stairwell, used my fob, but going up I couldn't shake it. That door angle wasn't random, it wasn't sloppy, it was controlled, and that's when it hit. Whoever left that folded marker on my windshield wasn't guessing anymore. They were already watching. The next morning I checked slower. Driver's side, small scratch near the handle, fresh, barely visible unless the light hit it right. That wasn't damage, that was proximity, testing distance, testing how close they could get without triggering anything. Now it wasn't one incident, it was behavior. That night I broke my timing, left earlier, came back later. The gate hesitated before opening, like it had just been triggered seconds before me. Not fully closed, not fully open, just hanging there like someone had slipped through and stayed. I didn't pull in right away. Sat there for a second longer than normal, listening. No engines, no voices, just that same low hum. Then I drove in slow, headlights sweeping across pillars, over parked cars, across empty spaces that didn't feel empty anymore. Halfway down the row, something shifted near the back wall. Not running, not reacting fast, just a controlled step backward behind a pillar. I stopped the car, didn't turn it off, didn't move forward, just sat there. And for a second nothing moved. Then a hand, just for a second, touched the edge of the pillar like someone was steadying themselves, not hiding, not panicking, just waiting for me to decide what I was going to do. I pulled forward anyway, because reversing out felt worse. Pattern locked onto me. Now it was obvious. When I came at my normal time, my spot would be taken. When I came off schedule, it was open. The stairwell door would sometimes be slightly propped, bypassing the fob system. Same angle every time, not kicked open, not careless, controlled. One night there was a disposable cup on the ledge, still wet. I touched it, cold condensation still forming. Someone had been there less than a minute before I walked up. That's when it clicked fully. This wasn't someone guessing where I'd be. They were timing me, Arrival, movement, distance, how long it took me to get from the car to the door, how long I stood before unlocking, how long I hesitated. That's not random behavior, that's study. It was bigger than me. This is where it changed. I came home early one afternoon, completely off pattern, and saw something I wasn't supposed to see. Two people near the directory board inside the garage entrance, not talking loud, not moving fast, just looking. One had a phone out, scrolling, looking up, matching names, levels, placement. I slowed the car but didn't stop. I saw enough. They weren't just watching me, they were learning the building. The system was open. That moment didn't hit right away. It followed me upstairs and sat with me longer than anything else had, because now everything before it made sense in a different way. The gate hesitation, the door positioning, the timing, that wasn't trial and error. That was practice. And if they were using the directory, then the garage wasn't just a place to wait. It was a filter. They could decide who mattered, who parked where, who came home alone, who stayed longer in the garage, who hesitated. I went back down later that same day, different time, different lighting, nothing there. Directory looked normal. Garage looked normal, which made it worse because that meant they didn't need to be there all the time. Just enough. They adjusted faster. I changed everything. Different level, different path, different timing. Parked far, walked longer, waited before getting out of the car, checked corners before moving, thought I broke it, until I reached the stairwell and saw it again, the door, slightly open, same angle, different floor. That's when it locked in. They weren't tied to a location. They were tied to behavior. Mine. It followed me. I stopped using the garage at night and switched to street parking. Different block every time. No pattern, no routine. For a few days, nothing. No signs, no scratches, no movement. And that's the part that gets you, because you think it's over. Then one night, walking back from street parking, I saw my car before I reached it. Rear side, dim light, something off. I slowed down, didn't go straight to it, circled first, checked reflections in nearby windows. Nothing. Then I got closer. Rear bumper, same kind of mark, clean, shallow, placed, not random damage. Same distance from the edge as before, same type of contact. That's when it hit harder than anything else. They didn't lose me. They adjusted to me. The garage wasn't the only place they could operate. It was just where they started learning. The next night I stayed in the garage longer before leaving. Didn't go straight up. Waited, watched. Two cars sat dark, engines off, but inside there was movement, not one person, more than one. Then I saw someone walking a woman toward the stairwell, holding the door open, like they belonged there. She didn't question it, didn't use a fob, just walked through. That's when it stopped being something I could control, because if she didn't notice, most people wouldn't. I didn't leave immediately. That's the part people think they do differently. You don't. You stay longer than you should, trying to confirm, trying to be sure. Every time I parked after that, I sat in the car longer, engine off, listening, watching mirrors, waiting for movement that didn't always come. But the feeling did, that constant awareness that something was just outside your view. One night I opened my door slower than usual, stepped out halfway, paused and heard it, footsteps. Not running, not rushing, just shifting weight somewhere behind a row of cars, close enough to hear. far enough not to see. I got back in the car, locked the door, waited. No movement after that. No sound. Nothing. And that's what confirmed it more than anything else. They didn't need to rush. They had time. I went back during the day and walked every level slowly. Then I found it behind the same pillar, a setup, not trash, not random, a jacket, a bottle, flattened cardboard, position, used, stayed in. That wasn't temporary, that was intentional. I broke my lease, paid penalties, lost money, changed how I move completely. No fixed parking, no fixed times, no predictable paths, because access systems don't protect you. They just give someone time to learn you. The last time I drove past, the garage gate was slightly open, like it always had been. People were still pulling in, parking in the same spots, walking the same paths, trusting the same system. Inside, nothing looked wrong, which is exactly why it keeps happening. That's the part most people miss. Nothing has took off for someone to already be inside, watching how things work. One person lets it slide, then another, and now the gap stays open longer every time. It turns into normal, and normal is where access hides. If your garage feels safe just because there's a gate, you're already trusting the wrong thing. Gates don't stop people. They control flow, and that only works if everyone inside belongs there. People don't break systems. They study them, learn your routine, and wait for you to stay predictable. A gate opens for someone else, and now they're inside. No force, no noise, just access. If you pull in without checking, step out without scanning, and assume you're safe, you're the pattern they're watching. Change how you move. Stay unpredictable and stay aware with the urban warning.